Yeah. So this is the mindset that I need you to go into. We're talking about that mean-spirited, verbally abusive care receiver. Okay. People only do to you what you allow them to do. So you have ruled out any medical issue. It's not a medication. It's not dementia. It is not high blood pressure. You have ruled all of this out. And this is purely someone who's mean spirited and has been verbally abusive for years, way before they even got sick or injured. Okay. Um, you have to resolve in your mind that you're not going to deal with that anymore. And so, this is something that I usually tell our family caregivers. You want to practice because, especially if you're that person that's not usually confrontational, this may be a little difficult for you. Okay. So, you want to practice in the mirror, in your car, in the bathroom saying something to the effect of, "Today is the last day that you will speak to me that way. If you cannot respect me, then I will figure out a way to have someone else care for you." Really simple. Now, everyone can't receive it in my tone, right? You may have a relationship where that needs to be screamed. I don't know. I don't recommend it. Um, but you have to be able to be firm and to make that statement at a time where your care receiver can receive it and hear it. Um, you'll change the words. You say whatever they can hear and understand. Um, but the words are, "Today is my last day that you will speak to me that way. If you cannot respect me, then I will figure out a way to have someone else care for you." Now, before you make that statement, I want you to also do the work. Do the work, which is not a whole lot of work. What does that mean, Carol? What does do the work mean? It means have a plan. Have a plan in place. So you're going to talk to your family members. Maybe there's someone else can help care for mom or dad or your spouse. Maybe they have a sibling or someone else. Okay. Now I know there's a lot of you listening right now going, if there was someone else, I wouldn't be doing this. I get it, but I want you to at least make that phone call. Okay. So you're going to have a plan. You're going to figure out if there's someone else, anyone else that can step in and help or take over. The other thing you're going to do is call the health insurance. So, if your spouse has health insurance or Medicare or Medicaid, there is someone called a navigator. It's usually a nurse navigator or a case manager. You're going to tell them that you have a disabled person or a senior citizen or someone with chronic illness, and you need help. Okay. And these nurse navigators or case managers, that's what they're paid to do. That is what they're paid to do. You call the 800 number on the back of of the card, and whoever answers the phone, you're going to tell them you need help, and they will connect you to a nurse navigator, a case manager, or someone who handles disabled or chronically ill patients. All right. So what you're going to do is have that plan, and then once you have the plan of what your options are, then you're going to say, okay, Friday at 12 noon, because that's usually when dad gets real snippy. This is what I'm going to tell him. Today is the last day that you will speak to me that way. If you cannot respect me, then I'll figure out a way to have someone else care for you. I've already called Lucy, the daughter you don't really care for, and she'll come in and she'll handle this. I've already called Medicaid, they'll have someone out next week. I've already called Pastor Ryan, and he has a team of people that can come over. So if you cannot respect me, this is what we'll do. I love you. I want to care for you. That's why I'm here. But I cannot do this anymore. This is the last day. I cannot do this anymore. Again, your tone may be completely opposite from my tone. Uh, your method may be a little different. But I have given this to other caregivers and it has been successful. And I'm going to tell you why it's been successful. It's been successful because the only hold that care receiver has over you is a psychological hold. That's very strong. It's very strong. And that's only a psychological hold because this has been going on for years and years and years and years, right? So you have your role. So even if you are 45 and you're taking care of mom, uh, who is 75, let's say, she's speaking to you that way because she's always spoken to you that way. And so sometimes when we're 45 or 55, uh, we are still functioning as if we are 8 years old, right? Because it's still the parent child dynamic. Or perhaps you've been in a relationship, you've been married to someone for years, and that husband has always been the breadwinner, in control, etc. Uh, but also verbally abusive for years. Uh, and doesn't know how to change that language. Well, he doesn't know how to change that language because it's been allowed. And so you have to change it in your mind. You have to change it in your mind. So if you need to go and practice this little speech for 2 weeks before you say it, then that's what you need to do. Okay. Now, the other thing is there is a category of care receivers who become feisty because now they no longer have the ability to take care of themselves. And so that in itself is depressing. That in itself is discouraging. That in itself is something that they may need a little counseling about. And they may not even recognize that they're being mean to you because they're really, really, really depressed about their current situation. You have the ability to identify why this is happening. So, someone like that is going to be someone who was normally very nice. They don't